Hello, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey today. Happy to be finally on the journey. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little concerned that the journey wasn't going to happen this month. How are you? Tell me everything. This is a reading for the 2-4 human design profile. If you don't know what your profile is, there's a link in the description to get your human design body graph. And among the plethora of information about you, you'll find your profile on there. So for the purposes of these readings, also, I've been reintroducing zodiac sign readings. So definitely check that out. Your sun, rising, your moon, if you want to, whenever those eventually get loaded. Anyway, so yeah, how is April going for you? It's been I feel like I am in like a million pieces, and I'm it's like not a bad thing. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. It feels like something though. So but it's like one of those things. So like those, I feel like they're like used for science demonstrations or something, but those, the ball where when you compress it, it's more solid, but if you open it up, it expands. I wish I knew what that was called. I don't, but I feel like I'm like expanded, and that's okay, because whenever I get put back together, whenever I'm like compressed back down into whatever I am going to be compressed back down into, I trust whatever that is. So anyway, we have trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? How beautiful is that card? I even love, like, my attention keeps getting drawn to just the different landscapes. Is that the right word? Like the different terrain. This looks like sand. This looks like water, maybe mountains, but also looks like ice kind of. There's desert back here. And then, just kind of this portal. Like, are they walking towards that? And that looks like a completely different place. And truly, right? Like, a lot of life does come down to trust. We have the Lovers, and especially too with human design, because the major thing with human design is your strategy and authority, right? Your strategy and authority is designed to help you enter into the correct experiences for you, quote unquote correct. And a lot of that is trusting, because sometimes it doesn't necessarily make sense, or it's scary, or, like it does force you to expand. Like I was even talking about at the beginning there, it's always crazy how whatever I end up blabbering about at the beginning somehow ends up tying into the reading. That's even trusting, because here I am just blabbering about whatever, and that's part of my process, is trusting whatever is coming out of my mouth. So we have the Lovers card, which is Gemini. We have the Moon, which is Cancer or Pisces, depending on who you ask. We have the Devil. We have 3 major arcana cards to start, and they're all on the top. So we have the Lovers, the Moon, the Devil, the Queen of Wands. Is there another one that flipped over? Okay, 2 more. Hanged Man. This is wild. This is crazy. I think I've only ever had like maybe one other reading since I begun this channel that had the majority. I don't think I've ever had a reading that was all major arcana, but your reading, out of the 6 cards that are on the table, one of them is minor arcana. And then at the bottom of the deck is the Knight of Cups. So I don't think I said all of them, and I'm forgetting that I don't have like the overhead view. I just didn't feel like it. So my apologies if that matters to you, but we have the Lovers, the Moon, the Devil, Queen of Wands, the Hanged Man, and the Magician. And then the Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. This is quite the journey for you. Okay, so let's read the Trust Your Path first. Okay. All right. The universe is conspiring. Keep facing your true north. Your job is not to pave the path, but to simply keep facing your true north and take one step after another. If you do this, you can't go wrong. The universe is conspiring. Don't waver or doubt. Use your heart as a compass and put one foot in front of the other. If you follow the invisible trail of what lights you up, you will light up the world without even trying. Most people don't follow the highest calling of their soul because they're waiting to see the end destiny before they take the first step. Ooh. That's that kind of hit me. That hit me in the heart there. Let me read that again. Most people don't follow the highest calling of their soul because they are waiting to see the end destination before they take the first step. If you take one baby step each day within a year, you will have taken 365 steps in your dedicated direction. If you want to write a book, write a page every day. If you want to change careers, do one thing every day in dedication to that. Before you know it, in just a year from now, you will turn back and look in awe at how far you have journeyed. Keep moving and open yourself up to a whole new level of support and receiving. Things are not going to work out the way you are planning. If you have little faith and keep showing up, they will work out even better than you could possibly imagine. Don't micromanage the universe. Trust your path and let your soul lead the way. So yeah, let's just start talking about this and just see where it goes, because I feel like I'm being kind of pinballed all around looking at these cards. So let's just start from the beginning. And again, I'm just gonna say like whatever comes to mind, whatever gets dropped in. I also love that it was, first of all, before we go there, I love that it was talking about following your heart, following the things that light you up. Because again, in human design, with your strategy and authority, if it does not feel good, if it's a no, if it's a whisper, if it's a scream, if it's just, like meh, if it's a no, don't do it as much as you can. Obviously, I know that there are things that we can't necessarily get out of. I can't think of anything for off the top of my head, but I don't want to put I don't really like using absolutes. So there are things, but it's just be aware in those situations that you're not putting too much of your energy into the thing. It's do the obligation, whatever it is, but don't let it suck your soul. Don't let it take more energy than you want to give it or that is available for it. Save that energy for something that does light you up, and do those things in the time whenever that you can. So and if you are currently in a situation where it is a no, figure out a way to get out of it. Like it said, even taking little baby steps, if it is a job, if it's a relationship, if it's where you're living, if it's, how you spend your free time, whatever it is, right? So we start with the Lovers card. This is Gemini, like I said. There doesn't have to be a Gemini around. This symbol right here keeps showing up around me, around these readings. And You would think that I would know how to pronounce it by now. I'm terrible at pronunciation. Let me see. Triskiel. It just came because I swear, like I looked, I like Googled how to pronounce it and listened to the pronunciation a million times. Triskiel. This little white symbol with the three spirals. That's so interesting. There's a few different meanings to it, but it's mainly birth, life, death. It's like the cycle of things in threes, which is interesting. Like, let me see if there's anything else that we're. It's the oldest symbol of spirituality. Well, that's interesting. Three legs. Let's see. Third time's a charm. Well, if there's something, oh my gosh, it is so annoying the amount of ads that pop up everywhere. Okay. I'm like taking that as a cue to get back to the reading. So, if there is something that you have been trying, even if it's been more than 3 times, it doesn't have to be exactly 3, but this, I feel like this is like an omen. This is a message that the next time you try is going to be the time. So, which doesn't necessarily even have to do like with a Lover's card. I mean, we can see the energy between these two, right? There's definitely chemistry here. The Lover's card, of course, can speak to relationships. I mean, if you want to be literal with the word lovers, right? It can definitely speak to that. But it's also, connections in business, platonic relationships, relationships with your family. And it's more so about the balance of the masculine and feminine energies, like yin and yang, right? We have the feminine intuition, being in flow, nurturing, receiving, and we have the masculine initiating, authority, giving, go-getting. So it's a balance of those things. So like it's this kind of burst of energy to start a thing, right? Put energy into a thing. And then it's the feminine energy of allowing that thing to blossom, to then come to you, which is really interesting. It could even be that there could be a person that is going to help you achieve whatever it is. Like, like I said with this symbol, the third time's a charm thing, whatever that quote unquote third time is, there could be somebody coming in to assist. Like, it's just like they're going to be part of making the third time happen. It could be a stranger, it could be somebody that you know, whatever it is. And I say that too because we have the Queen of Wands next. And the Queen of Wands is, first of all, confident. I always see like confidence with the Queen of Wands. It's like free expression too is what I'm getting. But obviously they're excited, right? They have this fire in their hands too. So it's almost kind of like they figured something out. And again, this is that third time working out. This is the charm, right? Third time's a charm. That's what that is. Wands have to do with action, the actions that we take, the things that we try, experiences that we go through. It's communication, passion, creativity. How are we communicating our passion? How are we communicating the actions that we're taking? I also see wands as being information because that's what we get by trying things, right? What works, what doesn't work, what do we like, what don't we like? That's how we get to discover how to even hold a flame in our hands, right? And queens are individual. So queens are when we recognize the energy within ourselves. It's mastering that energy within ourselves. It's getting yourself to a certain point, and then from there moving on to being a king. And kings oversee kingdoms, they're leaders, people look to them for guidance. So that's why I'm saying, like, with this Lovers card and the Queen of Wands, there's somebody that is going to help you accomplish whatever the thing is. And you are going to be excited about it. Like, this is definitely going to be something that it's almost like, being glad that the other things didn't work out. It's like, like unanswered prayers, like that Garth Brooks song. If you would have gotten what you wanted prior out of those first two tries, then the third one, which is absolutely perfect and better than the first two, wouldn't have even had an opportunity to show up, right? So even going back to trusting the process or trusting your path, because there's a reason why things don't work out, right? Even if we don't obviously see that right in the beginning. And then we have the Moon card, which is kind of fitting because even like I was just talking about, actually, the Moon talks about things that have yet to be revealed. It's the things that happen like behind the scenes, because obviously the moon comes out at night, right? It's the night luminary. It could even be shedding some light on your subconscious expectations and patterns, and how even those affect the decisions that you make on your path. Like if you were wanting something because of the connections you thought you could make, or the name, or just the like appearance of it, which is interesting because it is like this reflection type of thing. And this person is like all the way in the water. So like I said, this is Cancer or Pisces. And in Pisces right now, we have Saturn and Mars. I don't know if there's anybody else in Pisces. Oh yeah, Neptune. Neptune is in Pisces. And is Neptune, let me see. Okay. I was like, Neptune is a ruling planet of Pisces too. Well, one of them. I know Jupiter is the other one. But so Neptune is actually in Pisces right now. And it will be, I think, for the rest of this year. Anyway, so it's a lot of like, like I said, this person is all the way submerged in the water. And it is even maybe just revisiting what you thought you wanted, where you thought you were going. There's also even a feeling of surrender to this. And again, even trusting the path. Usually in the Moon card, there is a pool of water. There's, usually two animals, and then there's a path. And two, the Oracle card was talking about following your North Star. So I almost kind of feel like that's why the Moon card came out, because again, I mean, you see stars at night. So I was even getting like the Moana feel because, like she's, when she's on her boat looking for Maui, she's following his hook, right? In the stars. So, and that's all she has to go off of is that, and trusting that at the end of, or at some point in the journey, in this big ass ocean, that she's going to come across wherever Maui is, right? And she does. But also she's guided. Like there's that storm that shows up, which is scary, right? But it lands her on the island where Maui is. So if you haven't watched that movie in a while, maybe it's time to watch it again. Well, yeah. And then what's also interesting is the Hanged Man. It might just be like in a waiting period right now. And that could be very uncomfortable. And that could also be putting you in your feelings, like really deep down in your feels. The uncertainty, the since the thing hasn't worked out yet, maybe you're getting nervous about it. Because again, even just this being fully submerged here, like, definitely emotional. The Hanged Man is about seeing things from a different perspective. Oh, that's what I was going to say, is that it's interesting how both of these cards, these people are like, they're not on their feet. They're not on the ground. They're not grounded. They're in their emotions. They're hanging in the air. So again, it's like there's something that hasn't quite manifested yet, and it feels like you're in limbo, and that's making you emotional in some capacity. The Hanged Man, I think, let me see. The Hanged Man is also Neptune. How interesting is that? So we have two cards attached to Pisces. Maybe you have a lot of Pisces placements, but again, Saturn and Mars are in Pisces. Just some things that I'm reading here. Over glamorization and obsession with over glamorization and obsession with aesthetics. Motion and spirit merges with Neptune's pull to unify all things. Oh, Neptune will be in Pisces until 2025, 2026. So, okay. Neptune, the planet of illusions and delusions, will turn direct in Pisces. So, interesting. And especially even being underwater here, like, that could be why things aren't clear. Like, if there is some sort of illusion or delusion that is going on, especially if it is pertaining to your path. Like, and even the book said not to micromanage it, right? So anyway, with the Hanged Man, like I said, it does talk about seeing things from a different perspective. It talks about delays, suspension. Clearly, I mean, this person is suspended in the air, but also there's all of these symbols. I believe that they're rune symbols. So, and even the starburst at their crown or even at their like third eye, there is this opportunity here to see things from a different perspective. It even might be a message, and I heard this before when I was talking about the moon, I don't know, whatever. But I heard this little whisper about starting a spiritual practice in some capacity. And generally, for me, spiritual practices are releasing, surrendering, gratitude. It's like, it's literally loosening your grip. Whether that's loosening your grip from reality, loosening your grip from expectations, not trying so hard. Because again, all of those things are taking us away from following our strategy and authority. And we can find ourselves frustrated, angry, bitter, disappointed, right? Depending on whatever your strategy and authority is. And especially if you are doing those things like out of conditioning or out of, again, even expectation, then this is saying that there is an opportunity, or the delay is this lesson for you to see things from a different perspective and even take a different approach. And especially too, like we have the Devil card here, which is Capricorn. And the Devil card talks about the chains that bind us, the things that control us, because, they have the strings attached to the soul here. So again, anything where you are attaching strings to the outcome of something or the appearance of something or whatever, the connection of something, since we started with the Lover's card, the appearance of something, like how something is going to make you appear. So there is this opportunity here to look at those things. Like what are the things that I'm attaching a story, an expectation, an identity to even. Um, of course, a devil card can talk about addictions, and that can literally be anything from, of course, substance abuse to like shopping to numbing in whatever capacity that is, distracting yourself, um, social media, even that one part of the that whoop, I opened to the page and then fanned right away from it. Most people don't follow the highest calling of their soul because they are waiting to see the end destination before they take the first step. Bros. That's this. Soul's highest calling, waiting to see the end result. And all that it's doing is putting you in a position of just not moving. It's also even too like giving your power away is how that feels. But the devil card also, to me, it feels like they are offering your soul back. They're like, here, you can have it back if you want to do something with it. Like, you gave it to me, you gave me control over it. We're not talking about the religious association to the devil or anything like that. We're not talking about anything like that. We're talking energetically giving your power away to because you believe that you don't have power, or because you believe that you have to do things in a certain way, in a certain capacity to get a certain result, because whatever, you have this idea of, and wherever that came from. And especially like if that idea is so wound so tight where it's like there's no opportunity for surprise, there's no opportunity for true connection to come in or help. Like if you won't accept help because you already have an idea of what you want to do and how you want it to look and blah 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 blah, right? Then it's, again, this devil is going to show up because there's something that is controlling everything, and that just doesn't help. And it's interesting because, like I said, so if this devil is offering you your soul back, and again, we're not talking about whatever made up devil thing. We're talking energetically. We have the magician underneath it. So the magician says that you have exactly what you need to do exactly what you want to do. There's nothing outside of you that is going to create the perfect thing. The magician has all the tools all the time, because sometimes, we get stuck in, I don't have enough of something. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough energy. I don't have enough experience, whatever. I don't have enough mental capacity, whatever. Right. And the magician card says you have exactly the right amount of all of those things that you need to get started on whatever it is that you want to manifest. And I always think of Harry Potter when the magician comes out, but specifically the Sword of Gryffindor, because the Sword of Gryffindor shows up to the person who needs it exactly when they need it for the purpose that they need it for. Right. And then it just kind of disappears, or it moves on. And that's what the magician card is. So whatever it is that you think you are lacking, or if you think that you don't have, or whatever, and if that is your frame of focus and the reason why you haven't been moving towards something, or not changing directions, or not releasing your grip on the thing, energetically or otherwise, then whatever you need will pop up for you exactly when it's meant to, for the purpose that it's meant to. All you have to do is take the first step. Don't wait for the outcome before you take the first step. Take the first step. And besides, the outcome isn't even going to materialize if you're not taking any action towards it. We have The Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck, this is an offer coming in. So if you have been waiting for an offer, here it is. Like I said at the beginning, it's a good omen. This whole reading is, but it started good, and then it was like, okay, get out of your own way. And then here we are with this. I think this guy is so cute too. Ooh. Anyway, cups have to do with our emotions. And of course too, like I don't do relationship readings. My concern is you. It all starts with us anyway, right? So um I don't really care about the other person. But we do have the Lovers and the Knight of Cups here, which are traditionally like in relationship readings. These are good omens for relationship too. So if you are looking for a relationship, get out of your own way. Check your expectations. Check yourself, really. Right? Where are you projecting? Like, if you have these expectations of a partner, what type of projections are there? Like, because those are all I statements. If you expect them to be a certain way, look within. Are you being that way? Are you being that way with other people? So the Knight of Cups, generally, like I said, it's an offer. It can be an apology. There's this letter here too. My attention keeps getting drawn to. So whatever you have been waiting for, right? Whatever the offer is, whatever, that third time's a charm thing, here it is. And then we have the King of Wands behind that. So we go from the Queen, like I was saying, it's individual, mastering the energy within yourself. It's even, like knowing your own worth, getting clear on what you want. And then we have the King of Wands, which again is authority, they're a leader. It's the highest expression of the suit also. So this whole process, it's like, of course, it's there for your benefit to help you grow, help you, expand. Like we were kind of talking about in the middle. If you release, and I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.